let's talk about off-page SEO. We've done some videos about search engine optimization within your own website, how to craft your site to rank higher in search results. But there's another component to that, which we call off-page SEO. And those are things like referring links, things that refer back to your website, and connections across the internet. Most of what I personally deal with are online directories. So the directories that I work with are the main ones, Google Business Profile, Yelp, Bing, Apple Maps, and then any specialty profiles that may be in a specific industry. Hotels have tons of them, restaurants have lots of them, law firms, dentists, medical professionals, they have their own kind of directories. So what I do for off-page SEO is go to these directories and claim your listing or create a listing if you don't have one, if you're a brand new business, and then you link that business back to your website, and as well as make sure that all your information on these directories matches identical to anything that's on your website or on other directories. We call this NAP, name, address, phone. This used to be a major factor. It's less now, but you have to maintain consistency with NAP. If your business on your Google Business Profile, let's say your business is ABC Bakery Inc. On your Google Business Profile, you only put ABC Bakery. You leave the Inc. off. Whatever, it's your choice, whatever. But that means you have to do the same thing on your website, on your Apple listing, on your Yelp listing, everything. It needs to be the same. Your phone number needs to be the same, your website address needs to be the same, and your address needs to be the same, including like if you use a post office box or if you have a physical address. And then there are some situations where people have physical addresses where the street is an official street number, but everybody knows it as like Main Street. Just kind of keep that in mind. Just use whatever you choose to use. If it's the official name or the known name, just make it consistent. So if you use, for example, I had an office on Broadway once, and Broadway was actually, according to the post office, like 29th Street. But I used Broadway because everybody knew it as that. So that's what I did. So whatever you choose to do, just make sure it's consistent. And then the other component of that is your social media channels. Make sure that your social media channels, again, have the correct NAP and that they are pointed to your website and that your website is linked to them. So there's a link to your Facebook page, or so make sure that if you have social media, that the material on your social media has your web address and your address and your name all consistent, that it's linked to your website and that your website is linked back to it. So that's creating a connection. And then the same goes if you are in any directories for local, like a Chamber of Commerce or some business, association. Make sure that that is consistent. And I even go so far as to make sure that the website is listed the exact same, like with the www or without the www, and to make sure it's HTTPS, whatever, just make sure it's like 100% consistent across the board. And that will help, with the off-page search engine optimization, making those connections. What I always tell folks is the World Wide Web is like a big spider web, and the more connections you have, the stronger your presence on this web is, and the stronger your web is. So you want to link to significant websites from your website and vice versa to help that rank performance. So that's the off-page SEO kind of in a nutshell. And if you do any sort of blogging or article writing, or maybe you have a YouTube channel or something, make sure that that is pointing to your website, and that anytime somebody mentions you in an article or something on the internet, that it is linked to your website, and that will again help your performance over time. Now, there is something to be said also. There's a lot of companies that will try to sell you what they call backlinking, and that's not as important as it used to be. It just depends on your budget. I have done it for some clients because everything else is going right. We're just trying to get that like next step up. So I have bought backlinks before, but it's not super important like for a local business to do that. But if it's one of those things you're just trying to get that edge, it could give you that edge. You can buy backlinks across directories all over. Just there's so many random ones, phone companies or whatever have them. So you could do that, but it's not a huge factor anymore, and it's not a huge trick anymore. So quality backlinks are more important. So links, if you do some articles or blogging for other people's website, make sure that they link to yours, and that will help as long as their website is a good, strong, solid website, and you're talking about some subject matter. If you are a HVAC company and you write an article about puppies, there's no need to link that to your website because it is insignificant to the topic that you're talking about. So, but if you do write an article about HVAC, make sure that that company links to your website. Maybe it's like an industry newsletter or something. If you write an article for that and they have it online, make sure that they include a link to your website because that will be significant in the long run. So, all right. Thanks so much.